In the last class, I explained single component and multi-component analysis by UV absorption methods. This time, I am entering into the new topic, that is fluorimetry. Okay, new chapter. In this class, I am going to explain the main concept involved in the fluorimetry. That is, principle and theory are involved in the fluorimetry. Let's see. Here, before knowing fluorimetry, first we should know about luminescence. Luminescence. Okay, very important term. You see. Here, what is meant by luminescence? Large number of substances absorb UV visible radiation, but these substances loses excess energy in the form of heat. Okay, large number of substances. We know that many number of substances absorb UV visible radiation. Okay, here, but coming to luminescent substances, these substances means luminescent substances loses excess energy in the form of heat. Okay, it loses excess energy. Whatever the excess energy there means, that will be lose in the form of heat. Okay, then the loses excess energy in the form of heat through the collisions with neighboring atoms or molecule. Here, whatever they are absorbed, if they absorb excess energy means, okay, they liberate it in the form of heat. Okay, excess energy. Here, how they can liberate excess energy in the form of heat means by collision with neighboring atoms or molecules. Okay, here, then the remaining, the emitted remaining energy in the form of EMR. Okay, but emitted remaining energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. This emitted radiation has larger wavelength than the absorbed wavelength. Okay, this is the important thing here. But remaining energy, here after losing excess energy in the form of heat, the remaining energy emitted in the form of electromagnetic radiation. This emitted electromagnetic radiation has larger wavelength than the absorbed wavelength. Larger wavelength than the absorbed wavelength. Why it is having larger wavelength? Why the emitted radiation having the larger wavelength than the absorbed? I will explain later. Okay. This process of emitted radiation collectively known as luminescence. This process of emitted radiation collectively known as luminescence means the emitted radiation having larger wavelength than the absorbed wavelength. Okay. In this process, light produced at low temperature. Here, the emission of light or light produced at low temperature. That's why it is known as luminescence is known as it is known as light without heat or cold light. Light without heat or cold light. Why cold means low temperature. Here emission of light takes place at low temperature only. Light without heat or cold light. Here you see, here this emitted radiation has larger wavelength than the absorber, right? Here you can see means if any component absorb, if these components absorbing radiation at 257 nanometer means, okay, the lambda mass of the component is 257. For example, here the emitted radiation wavelength having 285 nanometer. For example, here 257 is lesser than as compared to 285 nanometer. So we can say that emitted radiation having larger wavelength than the absorbed. Why it is happening? Why it is happening in luminescence compound? Because we need to know about this formula. Here energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength. This is the principle in behind this. Energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength. If the energy is high means, okay, that radiation having lower wavelength. If the energy is low means that radiation having higher wavelength. It is quite opposite to each other. Here what happened? Here the emitted radiation has larger wavelength than the absorbed radiation, right? Here what happened? Initially the compound loses some excess energy in the form of heat. If this compound absorbs 100% radiation means here 10% radiation. Suppose 10% radiation, 10% radiation, okay, liberated in the form of heat. Then remaining 90%. What happened? This is emitted in the form of, okay, EMR. You see here only 90% of energy is emitted in the form of EMR. Okay, but it absorbs 10%, 100%, which is having higher energy. Okay, here 100% radiation absorbed having higher energy as compared to emitted. Here emitted having only 90%. So as the principle according to energy inversely proportional to wavelength. So this is having lower energy as compared to this one absorbed energy. So it is having higher wavelength. It will obtain at higher wavelength. It will obtain at lower wavelength according to this principle. Why it is only 90% of energy is emitted in the form of electromagnetic radiation means some energy, okay, here loses some excess energy lose in the form of heat. That's why the emitted radiation has larger wavelength than the absorbed radiation. This is important thing. Many examination this question is asked in fluorescence or in fluorimetry. The fluorimetry is related following statement. Okay, in the fluorimetry, the emitted radiation having larger wavelength means lower energy. Emitted wavelength having larger wavelength means lower energy than the absorbed radiation. Okay, this is luminescence. Okay, here luminescence is two types. Luminescence is two types. One is fluorescence, other one is phosphorescence. And you need to remember that in both the luminescence, in both this process, emitted radiation having larger wavelength than the absorbed radiation. You keep in mind. Then what is meant by fluorescence? When light incident upon certain substances, they emit UVR visible radiation. Okay, they emit UVR visible radiation. It occurs instantly, means whenever the radiation incident upon the substances, they emit UVR visible radiation. Okay, it occurs instantly, means emission of radiation takes place instantly whenever light incident upon the sample. Okay, after absorbing the radiation. After absorbing the radiation, instantly it emits the UVR visible radiation. Okay, but emission of radiation stops when incident light cut off or when incident light stop. Okay, here if you stop the incident light falling onto the sample, means that time immediately and emission of light also will be stopped. Okay, if you stop or if you cut off the incident light which is going to falling on the sample, okay, then immediately the emission of light also will be stopped. That is the fluorescence. This phenomena is known as fluorescence, and substance showing this phenomena is known as fluorescence substances. Okay, you keep in mind. But emission stops when incident light cut off. Okay, then coming to fluorescence. When light radiation incident upon certain substances emit UVR visible radiation even after incident light is cut off. This is the important thing. Even after you stop the incident light, okay, here up to some time they emit UVR visible radiation. This is the process. In fluorescence, immediately if you stop the incident light falling onto the sample, immediately the emission also will be stopped. Here, if you stop the incident light which is going to fall on the sample, even after some time also it will emit the radiation. Okay, that is the phosphorescence. So the process of delayed fluorescence is known as phosphorescence. Delayed fluorescence. Okay, and substances are called as phosphorescence substances. The substances which are showing phosphorescence phenomena are known as phosphorescence substances. This is fluorescence and phosphorescence. Then coming to the principle of fluorimetry. Principle or theory of fluorimetry. Okay, before understanding the principle, first we need to understand electronic states present in the molecule. Electronic states, okay, present in the molecule. Here we have four kind of electronic states. First one, singlet state, double state, triplet state, singlet excited state. Singlet state, double state, triplet state, singlet excited state. What is meant by singlet state? A state in which all the electrons are paired. Okay, in the singlet state, okay, if singlet state electrons present in the molecule means a state in which all the electrons are paired, means like this. It is denoted by like this symbol. One arrow is upward, one arrow is downward. Okay, which is paired. All the electrons are paired. Double state means a state in which all electrons are unpaired. All electrons are unpaired. Nothing but here free radicals, nothing but free radical. Either may be upward, either may be downward. Okay, means only single unpaired electrons are there. Okay, nothing but free radicals. Then triplet state, unpaired electrons of same spin present. A state in which unpaired electrons of same spin present. You see here, these two are the resemble same spin. Okay, same spin. Then singlet excited state. Unpaired electrons of opposite spin is there. Opposite. One is upward and one is downward. Opposite spins are there. Okay, you need to remember. In triplet state, same spin is present. In the singlet excited state, opposite spin is present. Okay, and these two are unpaired electrons. In doublet state, also unpaired, free radicals. Okay, in singlet state, electrons are paired. Okay, then this is electron states, okay, which is important for fluorimetry. Then coming to the theory or principle involved in this fluorimetry means, okay, you can see here absorption of UVR visible radiation causes transition from transition of molecule from ground state to excited state. If any molecule absorbing UV or visible radiation causes transition from the ground state to excited state, the molecule undergoes ground state to excited state after absorbing the radiation. This excited state is unstable. We know that the state is unstable. It will return to the ground state with emission of radiation. Okay, here after reaching the excited state, that excited state is unstable. It return to the ground state with emission of radiation. Okay, return to the ground state with emission of radiation. That process is known as, okay, with emission of radiation. This transition, that is from excited state to ground state, it is occurred by three processes. I told you now, excited state is unstable. It return to the ground state with emission of radiation, right? That process means reaching from excited states to ground state. That can be occurred by three processes. That is important in fluorimetry. That is transition from excited state to ground state occurred by three processes. What are those? You can see. This diagram is very important for better understanding of three-layer principle behind fluorimetry. You can see here, this is the singlet ground state molecule. Okay, in this molecule, electrons are present in singlet state. Okay, singlet ground state. Okay, we know that here singlet ground states, okay, state in which all electrons are paired electrons are there. Then this is, okay, singlet excited state. Remember, singlet excited state. Here molecule reaches after after absorbing the radiation, it reaches from it undergoes transition from ground state to excited state. Okay, here I mentioned that excitation means, okay, the molecule moving from ground state to excited state is known as the process is known as excitation. How it will occur? Because it will occur by absorption of UV visible radiation. Okay, I given the time for it is occurring 10 to the power of minus 15 seconds. This transition occur within 10 to the power of 15 seconds. Okay, and remaining what we need to learn, see in this mainly we need to know that this from excited state to ground state occur by three processes, because the excited state is unstable. Return to ground state, okay, with the emission of radiation, that occur by three processes. That is important. Okay, it can be achieved to ground state return by three processes. What are those? You can see first one, collision deactivation. This is the collision deactivation. And next process, fluorescence, and third one is phosphorescence. Okay, third one is the phosphorescence. It can occur through the inter-system crossing. I will explain it. You see, after reaching the molecules to the excited state, or after reaching the electrons to the excited state, here first step is collision deactivation. This line indicating collision deactivation. Name itself indicating the excited molecules are collisions with each other. You can say I given some matter here. Collision deactivation. Excited molecules return to the ground state by collision deactivation without emission of radiation. This is the important. The excited molecule returns to the ground state, by collision deactivation. How they will return to the ground state? Here the molecules which are present in the excited state, some they are polar with each other. Some molecule. So they return to the ground state without emission of radiation. Here there is no radiation emitting in this process from excited state to ground state. That you need to understand. Okay, in this entire energy loss due to collision. Whatever they have the energy, that is lost due to collision. That's why collision deactivation name. Okay, next process is, here some excited molecules are returned to the ground state. Okay, by the way, fluorescence. We know that in the fluorescence or phosphorescence, what will happen? The emitter wavelength having emitter radiation having higher wavelength than the absorbed radiation. We already seen the definition of fluorescence. Okay, it will occur 10 to the power of minus 6 to 10 to the power of minus 4 seconds. Fluorescence. Okay, this is the fluorescence. Means some here from excited state to ground state it will be occur. This is fluorescence. Given some matter how it will occur. Here excited molecule loses some energy in the form of heat. We know that it loses some energy in the form of heat by collision deactivation or vibrational transition. Due to the vibrational transition or collision deactivation, this time some energy has been lost. Okay, then remaining energy emitted in the form of electromagnetic radiation. This emitted radiation has lower wavelength. this empty radiation having lower energy or higher wavelength. This empty radiation has lower energy or higher wavelength. Both are same only. If the wavelength is high, means that is having lower wavelength. Radiation has lower wavelength or lower energy or higher wavelength than the absorbed radiation. This process is known as fluorescence. Okay, why it is at higher wavelength or lower energy than the absorbed means because of some energy lost due to collision, some energy lost due to heat in the form of heat due to vibration transition or collision deactivation. Here this thing is the vibration transition. Okay, occurring heat energy lost due to heat vibration transition. Here this is the fluorescence. It occurs within the time of 10 to the power of -6 to 10 to the power of -4 seconds, instantly, very short. Okay, very short time. Okay, this is about fluorescence. Next one, phosphorescence. You can see here, this is the triplet state. This is the triplet state. Here between exit state and ground state, here triplet state. We know that triplet state unpaired electrons are same spin are present. Same spin. I given that symbol. Okay, same spin. Okay, you see how phosphorescence will be occur. Here, okay, at favorable condition. Here, what will happen? If here the excited molecules, if you create some favorable condition, means at low temperature or in the absence of oxygen, what will happen? The excited molecule will reach to the triplet state from the exit state. Okay, the excited molecule or the excited electrons reach to the triplet state in the favorable condition. What are those? Okay, at low temperature or absence of oxygen. In these two conditions, it will reach to the triplet state. This process is known as inter-system crossing. Okay, then it will occur at low temperature and absence of oxygen. This point is important for GPAT also. Okay, here after reaching to the triplet state, after some time, then the electrons will reach to the ground state. That process is known as phosphorescence. From the triplet state, the electrons reach to the ground. Okay, ground state. That process is known as phosphorescence. You need to remember, phosphorescence is not directly occurring, means not directly transition from exit state to ground state. In between them, here triplet state is there. Okay, after crossing the triplet state only, the electrons or molecule reaches to the ground state. That is known as phosphorescence. Okay, it will occur at within the time 10 to the power of -6 to 20 seconds. Okay, means even after incident like a stop also, here emission will be occur. You can see 10 to the power of -6 to 20 seconds, somewhat larger time as compared to fluorescence. You can see 10 to the power of -6 to 10 to the power of -4 only within this span of time, immediately. Here 10 to the power of 6 to 20 seconds means delayed fluorescence is known as phosphorescence. Delayed fluorescence, that is phosphorescence. Okay, you see, at favorable conditions like low temperature or absence of oxygen, molecules with relatively stable excited single state may undergo transition to the metastable triplet state. Okay, the triplet state is metastable. At favorable conditions, this is to metastable triplet state. This process is known as inter-system crossing. Okay, at favorable condition like low temperature and absence of oxygen, molecules with relatively stable excited single state, okay, may undergo transition to metastable triplet state. This process is known as inter-system crossing. As I explained here, this is the inter-system crossing occurred at low temperature and absence of oxygen. Next, after some time, the molecules from triplet state to triplet state undergo transition to the singlet ground state with the emission of UV visible radiation is called phosphorescence. Here, after some time, the molecules what are present in the triplet state will undergo transition to the phosphorescence with the emission of radiation. Then that is known as phosphorescence. Okay, these are the three ways. First way is collision deactivation. By collision deactivation, the excited molecules or excited electrons return to the ground state. Here, you need to remember that no emission of energy, no